good. Hi, everybody. This is Elizabeth Lee, animal communicator, connecting you with your animal friend, both living and in spirit. I'm here today to talk to you about how you can connect with your animal friend who has passed. I get questions like this a lot in my personal sessions with people. People want to know how their animal is doing, if they can connect with them after they've passed, how they're doing, how they feel about what happened. And people hold on to a lot of grief about this topic, sometimes for a lot of years. So I'm really passionate about healing, and so I wanted to do this live stream. So I put it out there. This is the first time I've really put it out there that I'm doing a live stream at a certain time. So I want to sort of let a few minutes go to let people show up. And oh good, we have a viewer. If you want to type in hello, I can't tell who's here. It's not telling me a name, but feel free to say hi or where you're from or ask a question, whatever you'd like. Most of my live streams have been pretty short, but I'm intending to go a little longer with this one just to take time to talk to people if people want to talk about it, and maybe do a little experience right here so that you can get in touch with your animal yourself, and I'll walk you through that. So let's see, I guess I'll get started. I really want people to know that it's possible. I mean, more and more people it's becoming more mainstream, animal communication, but I'm not so sure people are thinking about connecting with their pets that have passed. So I really want to share that message today, that they want to connect with you, that they're not far away, and that it's not a hard thing to do. It's just something that takes a certain mindset and practice and belief. And it's important that you see that you can do it. Oh, yay. Let's see. Cheryl is here. Hi, Cheryl. Yay, I'm so glad you stopped by. There's a 30-second delay from when you comment to when it shows up on my screen. So keep that in mind. But I'll be checking in with people as they come in and comment. So I'm really glad you're here, Cheryl. I recognize your name from Facebook. We have some dear mutual friends, and I'm glad you stopped by. I'm just going to speak to you from my heart about this subject because it's a passion of mine. One of my first kitties ever was Cleo. Oh my gosh, I loved her so much. I've had allergies all my life, and for a certain period of time they went dormant, and Cleo showed up. And so she was kind of my first cat that I really had for a long time. I loved her a lot. And when she passed, I was heartbroken, of course. And, oh good, some more people are showing up. Hi, welcome. So when she passed, I had a dream about her. Well, I call it a dream, but it wasn't a dream. I had an experience of her visiting me just about a week after she passed. And it just burst my heart open. And this was a long time before I started being an animal communicator professionally. So what happened was I had a dream one night, a week after she passed, that she and I were in a stadium, like an outdoor coliseum with all the seats going up, and we were at the very top row, and playing at the bottom on the big screen was her life, right in front of us, like her whole life. It still gets me. And she said, "You loved me so well." So, that really showed me that it's a very thin veil between us and them. And we can talk to them, and we can be consciously seeking them out. That was just something that happened to me that sort of paved the way to show me it was possible. But we can seek it out and ask consciously for them to connect with us. So, there are a couple different ways you might feel that your animal friend is present and trying to reach out to you. Sometimes I hear about people hearing them, sort of like muffled. Sometimes what's happened for me is I've seen them out of the corner of my eye. I just kind of get a glimmer or a glimpse of them in the room with me. That's really cool. Sometimes people smell them, and sometimes they have the sensation of actually feeling their fur. Sometimes I've even heard clients talk about, like, their bed, seeing a depression in the cushion actually where they used to sleep with them. So there are lots of different ways the animals can show up for you. And one thing I do in my sessions with clients, is I talk to the animals and I ask them what ways they might show up for their people. Like, what can their person look out for? What's an easy sort of avenue for them to communicate? If it's visual or verbal, or, sometimes you just have a thought, they come to mind, and you just get a downloaded message. And that's a really beautiful thing that can happen too. I think it's important to do this work because sometimes people hold grief in their hearts for many, many years, and there aren't a lot of places that people can go to talk about this. The animals touch us in ways that other people can't. It's a different relationship. And when we lose our pets, sometimes we just bury those feelings because they're too big. Cheryl says, I have felt a thud on my bed, exactly how it felt when my Norm cat used to jump on the bed. Oh, that's so cool, Cheryl. Thanks for sharing that. I love that. I should just make a list of all these things I hear, because I keep hearing these new creative ways that animals come through to their people, and it's so interesting to me. Anyway, I was just talking about how it's important to work through the grief, because whenever we hold grief in our heart, it's holding us back from joy. It's like taking up space. And people don't always know really how to handle that or who to talk to. There aren't a lot of resources out there, for people who have lost dear pets. So that's why I'm here. I love doing this. And in one-on-one work with clients, we can connect with their animals. I also just put out a class the other day that's called Grief to Gratitude, where I take you through 2 different exercises where you can connect with your animal. And my intention is just to help you clear up misunderstandings. Sometimes when our animals pass, we have questions like, gosh, did I wait too long? Or did I put him down too soon? Or was he in a lot of pain at the end? And sometimes these questions and these images too of our pets' decline just haunt us. And they just take up our emotional space, and it's very painful. So when you reconnect with your animal friend, when they're in spirit, you can restart that relationship. And you get a new vibration going with them. And those old images and those old concerns, you can talk about them and clear them up and see how they're doing. So that's why I love it. I wanted to share a story that I had a client recently who, she had this cat. You know how there's this one special one, and they touch you like nobody else. And she had to leave the country on her honeymoon, and her kitty was ill. And she was gone for a couple of weeks, and the kitty passed while she was out of the country. And it was just heartbreaking for her. And when she came home a few weeks later, she decided she wanted to get kittens. And so they got kittens, and she loved her kittens, but there was still a real ache for her. Oh, hi, Denise. Thanks for joining. And so this woman gave me a call and said, I love my new kittens, but I'm still feeling so much pain from the loss of my kitty. Can we talk to her and work on that? And so we did. We connected with her kitty, and the things that her cat shared really lifted her spirits and helped her move through understanding why things happened the way they happened. When we connect in spirit, it's from spirit. It's a higher self, higher soul level than just staying in the personality level. So some bigger things were revealed. And it really healed her heart to hear these things. And a few weeks after the session, she wrote to me and said, "Thank you so much. I'm now able to completely give my heart to the new kittens and totally bond with them because I've moved on and I understand what happened and I'm okay with it." And that was priceless, really, really priceless. So I thought maybe we'd take a moment and I could just take a few minutes with you. If you're here, I'm suspecting that you're missing one of your animal friends. And so I thought I'd just take a moment and walk you through connecting with them. Not a big deal, just a little taste of what it can feel like. So if you want to close your eyes and take a few breaths with me, really focus on your heart. Focus on settling into your heart space. And bring to mind your animal friend. Remember how they sounded, how they felt. See them looking into your eyes. Remember the jingle jangle of their collar. Maybe remember doing one of your favorite things with them. Just settle into your heart and bring them to mind. Now imagine that there is a gate in front of your heart and you're opening the gate or doorway. To me, that's a symbol of I'm ready to communicate and talk with you. And feel your open heart and look into your animal's eyes. And just share your love with them. Just feel them with you. And ask them if there's anything they'd like to share with you, or ask them how they are. Whatever's on your mind and pressing on your heart, ask them. You might get a knowing, you might get a phrase, you might get a visual. Be open to what comes through for you. And trust whatever it is. You know, they're always there and they always want to connect. It's not like you're going to be friends for one period of your life and they're gone forever. It just doesn't work that way. You keep coming together, so they're always close. At least that's been my experience. So I hope you could get a little bit of an experience for yourself there and feel that connection again and trust it. The 3 tips that I want to share with you about connecting with your animal friend in spirit are, first of all, you have to be brave enough to go there. You know, when I taught this class in person a couple years ago, a friend of mine said afterwards, "Gosh, I had no idea. I was still holding so much guilt over rehoming my pet when I was way back in her childhood. They had to find another home for their animal, and she was still feeling guilt about this, and she didn't even know that was there. So it takes courage. It takes courage to go into that pain and that loss. It's difficult. So the first tip is be brave. Be brave enough to feel it and to remember them and to go there and be willing to go there to transform that pain, because it will transform. Once you focus on it and you go there, it'll shift and it'll lighten up and you'll have more room for joy. My second tip is be willing to stay there for a while. I know what we just did was just a few minutes, but you really need to stay in that space and listen. We have to practice listening because we're so used to, as humans, with our five senses, just hearing with our ears. We have to hear with our heart and not rush off or not dismiss what we receive. So that second tip is just to stay present and stay there with what comes up. More grief might come up at first. An animal you didn't think would show up might show up. That's always a big surprise. And my third tip, and this is a really big one for people. Oh, thank you, whoever just hearted that. Oh, hi, Beverly. Beverly just joined. I'm so glad you're here. And Lynn, hi, Lynn. Thank you for coming. Yes, this needs practice. Lynn says this would need practice. You know, everything needs practice, and we need to go into things with beginner's mind. As grown-ups, we think we know it all, but we really don't. And this takes a lot of practice. It takes a shift in consciousness. So that third tip is trust what you get. That's sort of the biggest thing, and that's what all my teachers over the years have shared with me, and I try to share with everyone I contact and talk about this with, is to trust what you get. It's a gift, and if you don't trust it, it's like throwing it back at the universe. I mean, you get it for a reason, and being grateful allows more to come, and it allows your confidence to grow. I worked with Sonia Choquette years and years ago and did one of her trainings in Chicago, and she shared this with us, that she did a reading for somebody, and they just completely didn't resonate with anything that she said. Nothing. Oh, hey, Jennifer. So glad you're here. She didn't her client didn't resonate with it and said, this makes no sense to me. I just think you're full of it, whatever. And Sonia says, you just trust what you get and you share what you get. And it was, I think, a year or two later that she heard back from that person. And that person said, oh my gosh, you were completely right. And everything you talked about makes sense to me now. So we don't always know how this unfolds, but our job when we go in and ask for assistance and ask to connect with Spirit is to trust what comes through. I say that a lot on my calls. Something strange comes in and I say, I just have to share with you what I get because that's my policy. Whatever comes through, I trust and I share. So I hope that is helpful for you guys. I did just launch a class. It's a digital online class where there's an exploration to help you meet a guide that will help you with your animal communication. And then there's an exploration where it's nice and long and extended time for you to connect with your animal friend and ask lots of questions. And so I hope that's helpful to you. I'll put a link to that in this when I'm done live streaming. And I'm not sure there was anything else I wanted to go over. Please put up a question if you have any questions. It takes 30 seconds of delay for me to see your question from when you write it. I just think it's important for you all to know that you can do this yourself. I can help you get there and practice with you, but it's really important to know that we all have this capability. And once you feel it and do it and you get something that is authentic and that you connect with, you know it's real. And you have to have that experience. Otherwise, it's just, it's like reading a book and not knowing it. Jen says, hi, Elizabeth. So happy to see you live. Loving this. Thank you, Jen. I thank you, Jen, because you're the one that I asked Facebook Live topics to, and you suggested tips for connecting with your animal and spirit. So thank you. So unless there are any questions, I think I'll finish up. What else might there be? Let's see. Oh yeah, one last thing. An easy way to start doing this is when you go to bed at night to ask your animal to come and visit you. When we're sleeping, of course, so many of our defenses are down and our ego and our doubting mind and everything. It's easier for them to come in and share an experience with us when we're sleeping. So that's a good way to start. and write down what you get. I keep a journal that's for magic. And whenever things happen in my life that make me go, wow, that was incredible, really beautiful synchronicities, really, powerful things, little or big, I write in that magic journal. And then I have it written down so that if I have moments of doubt, or if I'm having a hard week and I'm saying this is all just not working out, or nothing's coming through lately, or I feel disconnected, or whatever it is, I can pick up my magic journal and read the stories that I've been gathering over the years. And it's really, really helpful, because when we get in a discouraged mind frame, it's hard to remember. So do whatever you can to keep your spirits high and your vibration up and your consciousness expanded, because this is actually really natural for us. I think that we're designed to do this. Okay. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm so happy that we have people live. That was excellent. I'm going to post this so more people can see. Please go to my website if you want to sign up for my newsletter. It's elizabethayerlee.com, and you'll get automatically sent a free guided meditation to connect with your animal. And check out my class, Grief to Gratitude. It's only $17, and it's a digital download. You'll get it immediately. It's about 40 or 45 minutes long, so it's not too long, but it should really give you an experience of knowing that it's real and that you can connect with your animal. I guess it just speaks me. Sorry. I cry all the time, but I really want you to connect with your animal because I know how healing it is. So, sorry. I didn't want to do that, but I really wanted this to be heartfelt. So, have a great weekend, you guys. And thank you for your support and for being willing to do this. Hi, Emalani. I just saw a little bubble from you. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Keep your vibration high. Don't get caught up in the drama that's going on. Just stay focused on your heart and what's important to you and create the life that you love. Okay? Take care, guys. Bye.